Love is a strange and powerful thing. Sometimes it enters your life quietly, like a soft breeze you barely notice at first. But before you realize it, it becomes the very air you breathe. And when I loved you, I didn't love you halfway. I didn't love you only on the easy days. I loved you in silence, in patience, in the moments when no one else could see what my heart was carrying. You may never truly understand how deeply I loved you. Because my love for you was not loud, it wasn't about grand promises or perfect words, it was in the small things. The way I cared about your happiness more than my own. The way your smile felt like home to my soul. I loved you with a heart that was ready to wait, ready to sacrifice, ready to stay, even when the world told me to walk away. Tonight, I want to tell a story. Not about perfect love, but about real love, the kind of love that changes a person forever. And maybe by the end of this story, you will finally understand how deeply I loved you. There are feelings in this world that words were never designed to carry. Love is one of them. Real love does not fit neatly into sentences or promises. It lives in the quiet places of the heart, in the pauses between breaths, in the moments when you look at someone and feel like your entire world has suddenly become softer and brighter. When I think about you, I don't remember just the big moments. I remember the small ones, the ordinary seconds that most people would forget. The way your voice sounded when you were calm, the way your laughter arrived suddenly, like sunlight breaking through clouds, the way your presence could turn an ordinary day into something that felt meaningful. Loving you was never something I decided to do. It was something that happened quietly, slowly, and then all at once. Like standing near the ocean and realizing that the tide has already surrounded your feet before you even noticed the water moving closer. At first, I thought it was just admiration, maybe curiosity, maybe the simple joy of meeting someone who understands the world a little differently. But the more time passed, the more I realized something deeper was happening inside me. Something that didn't ask for permission. Something that didn't need explanations. Because love, when it is real, does not arrive with noise. It arrives gently. It settles into your heart like it has always belonged there. And suddenly, the world changes. Your happiness becomes important to me in ways I cannot fully explain. The smallest details about your day begin to matter. I start noticing the things that make you smile, the things that make you quiet, the things that make you feel safe. Without realizing it, I begin carrying pieces of your world inside my own heart. That is what loving you felt like. It felt like waking up every morning with a quiet hope that somewhere out there you were smiling. It felt like seeing something beautiful and wishing you were there to see it too. It felt like hearing a song and thinking about how it might sound if you were standing beside me. People often believe love is about grand gestures, dramatic moments, big confessions. But the truth is, the deepest love often hides in the smallest things. It hides in patience, in the way you listen when the other person speaks, even when they think their words don't matter. It hides in understanding, in the quiet choice to stay gentle with someone, even when life becomes complicated. And it hides in presence, in the simple act of being there for someone, not because you expect something in return, but because their existence alone has become important to you. Loving you was never about needing you to complete something inside me. It was about recognizing something beautiful in another soul and choosing to protect that beauty with everything I had. Sometimes I would look at you and wonder if you understood how rare you were. Not because you were perfect, but because you were real. You had flaws, doubts, fears, dreams that sometimes felt too big for the world around you. And somehow those imperfections made you even more extraordinary. They made you human in a way that felt honest and unforgettable. And somewhere along the way, I realized that my heart had already made a decision. It had chosen you, not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly and completely. I began caring about things I never noticed before. The way your mood shifted when something bothered you. The way you tried to hide your sadness behind a smile so that no one else would worry. The way your eyes sometimes carried stories you never spoke out loud. I noticed these things because loving someone makes you pay attention. It teaches you to see beyond words. It teaches you to hear the silence between sentences. And in those silent spaces, I learned more about you than any conversation could ever reveal. There were moments when I wanted to tell you everything that lived inside my heart. Moments when the truth felt so strong that it almost spilled out without control. But love sometimes chooses patience instead of urgency, because real love understands that timing matters. So instead of speaking loudly, I loved you quietly. I showed it in the way I supported your dreams, in the way I believed in your strength even when you doubted yourself, in the way I respected your space and your freedom, because loving someone means wanting them to grow, not wanting them to stay still. And the strange thing about loving you was that it never felt like a burden. It felt like purpose. Even on the days when life was difficult, even when the world felt heavy and uncertain, knowing that you existed somewhere in this universe made things feel a little more hopeful. Love does that. It doesn't remove the storms from life, but it gives you a reason to keep walking through them. There were nights when I found myself thinking about you without meaning to, not because I was trying to remember you, but because my heart had already placed you in the center of my thoughts. It would happen in the quiet moments when the noise of the day had faded and everything became still, when there were no distractions left, no conversations, no responsibilities, just silence. And in that silence, your memory would appear like a soft light in the distance. I would remember the way you spoke about your dreams, the way your eyes brightened when you talked about something that mattered to you, the way your presence made the world feel a little less cold. Loving you taught me something important. It taught me that love is not always about being understood. Sometimes you love someone deeply, even if they never fully realize how much they mean to you. Sometimes love exists quietly, without recognition, without applause, and that doesn't make it any less real. Because the truth is, love is not measured by what the world sees. It is measured by what the heart carries. My heart carried you in ways that were simple and complicated at the same time. I carried your happiness like it was something fragile and valuable. I carried your struggles like they mattered to me just as much as my own. I carried the hope that one day you might see the depth of what existed between us. But even when that hope felt uncertain, my love remained steady. It did not disappear when things became confusing. It did not fade when distance appeared. It simply stayed, like a quiet promise inside my chest. And maybe that is what KEANU truly meant. It meant learning how strong the human heart can be when it chooses to care about someone without conditions. It meant discovering that real love is not about control. It is not about expectations. It is about appreciation. Appreciation for another person's existence, for their laughter, their struggles, their dreams, their imperfect and beautiful humanity. When I say that I loved you deeply, I don't mean that I loved you only in the happy moments. I loved you in the uncertain ones too, in the moments when the future felt unclear, in the moments when words were not enough to explain everything that lived inside my mind. I loved you with patience, with respect, with a quiet kind of loyalty that did not need recognition to remain strong. And the truth is, loving you changed the way I saw the world. It made ordinary days feel meaningful. It made small moments feel important. It made silence feel peaceful instead of empty. Because when love is real, it becomes a lens through which you see everything differently. The world becomes softer. People become more valuable. And time becomes something you learn not to waste. I never needed the world to know how I felt about you. I never needed dramatic scenes or perfect circumstances. All I needed was the simple truth that somewhere in this world, you existed. That was enough to make my heart feel grateful. And every time life placed you in front of me, even for a short moment, something inside me felt calm in a way that is difficult to describe. Like a traveler finally recognizing a place that feels familiar. like a soul quietly saying, "There you are." Because loving someone deeply is not always loud. Sometimes it is gentle, sometimes it is patient. Sometimes it is a quiet presence that remains steady even when the world around it continues to change. And my love for you lived in that quiet space where words are never quite enough, where emotions move slowly but powerfully, where the heart learns to care in ways it never expected, where every memory of you becomes something that stays alive long after the moment has passed, where every smile you shared becomes something my heart remembers long after the room has grown silent, where every conversation, every glance, every second of connection becomes a small piece of something meaningful that continues living inside me. Loving you changed me in ways I never expected, not in loud, dramatic ways that people notice immediately, but in quiet ways that slowly reshape a person from the inside. Before you, life felt simple and predictable. I moved through my days focused on my own path, my own thoughts, my own direction. I believed I understood what love was. I believed it was something people talked about, something they promised, something that sounded beautiful but rarely felt as deep as the stories made it seem. Then you appeared in my life, and something inside me began to shift. At first it was subtle, a quiet awareness that your presence affected me differently than anyone else's. When you walked into a room, the atmosphere seemed to change, not because you demanded attention, but because something about your energy carried a calm strength that was impossible to ignore. I remember noticing the way you listened to people, truly listened, not just waiting for your turn to speak, but actually understanding what someone else was feeling. That kind of kindness is rare, and when you see it, it leaves an impression on your heart. Somewhere along the way, I realized I wanted to become a better person simply because you existed. That realization surprised me. Love, I discovered, does not just make your heart beat faster. It makes you reflect on who you are and who you could become. When you care deeply about someone, you begin asking yourself quiet questions. Am I patient enough? Am I kind enough? Am I strong enough to protect the happiness of someone who trusts me with their heart? Loving you made me ask those questions. It made me notice parts of myself I had ignored before. My strengths, my weaknesses, the places where I still had growing to do. And instead of feeling ashamed of those imperfections, I began to see them as opportunities to grow. Because when you love someone deeply, you want to become the kind of person who deserves that love. You made me more patient. Before you, I believed patience was simply about waiting for things to happen, waiting for time to pass, waiting for life to move forward. But loving you showed me that patience is something much deeper. Patience is choosing calm when emotions become complicated. It is choosing understanding when misunderstandings appear. It is trusting that the connection between two hearts can survive moments of uncertainty. There were times when I had to learn to step back and give you space, not because I wanted distance, but because I respected your freedom. Loving someone means understanding that their life is not something you control. It means standing beside them without trying to reshape who they are. You also made me stronger, not the kind of strength people show through anger or pride, but the quiet strength that lives inside a steady heart. The strength to remain kind even when things become difficult. The strength to protect love instead of letting frustration destroy it. There were moments when life felt confusing, moments when emotions didn't fit neatly into words, but even in those moments, loving you gave me the courage to remain gentle, because real strength is not about winning arguments or proving someone wrong. Real strength is about protecting what matters. And you mattered to me more than my own pride. Loving you also made me more aware of the beauty in ordinary life. Before you, many days passed without me noticing how special small moments could be. But after you became part of my world, everything felt different. A simple conversation could become the highlight of my day. A shared laugh could stay in my memory for hours. Even silence, when it happened near you, felt peaceful instead of empty. You taught me that love is not always about extraordinary experiences. It is about appreciating the ordinary moments that slowly build a life together. A quiet walk, a simple smile, a look that says more than words ever could. These things may seem small to the world, but when you love someone deeply, they become unforgettable. There were times when I caught myself thinking about your future, about your dreams, about the places life might take you. And strangely, those thoughts made me happy even when I didn't know if I would always be part of that journey. Because loving you taught me something important about selflessness. True love does not ask, "What can I gain from this?" True love asks, "How can I support the person I care about?" If your dreams took you far away, I still wanted you to succeed. If your path led you towards something beautiful, I wanted you to reach it. Your happiness became something I respected deeply. And that realization changed me. It made me realize that love is not ownership. It is appreciation. It is the quiet decision to celebrate another person's existence even when life becomes complicated. Loving you also made me braver. Before you, I often kept my emotions guarded. I believed protecting my heart meant keeping certain feelings hidden. But when you truly care about someone, hiding your heart becomes impossible. You begin to speak more honestly. You begin to share thoughts that once stayed locked inside your mind. You begin to risk vulnerability because the connection feels worth it. That kind of honesty can feel frightening at first, but it is also freeing. Because when you open your heart to someone you truly trust, something beautiful happens. You discover that being vulnerable does not make you weak. It makes you human. And loving you taught me to embrace that humanity instead of hiding from it. There were also moments when loving you required courage in quieter way. The courage to remain calm when misunderstandings appeared. The courage to forgive small mistakes. The courage to keep believing in the goodness of someone even when life became complicated. These are not dramatic acts that people applaud, but they are the quiet actions that build real love. And every time I chose patience instead of anger, understanding instead of judgment, I felt myself becoming someone better than the person I used to be. You changed the way I see people. Before you, it was easy to judge others quickly, to assume you understood their story from the outside. But loving you reminded me that every person carries hidden struggles. Every smile can hide a difficult day. Every quiet moment can contain thoughts no one else understands. You showed me how important it is to approach people with kindness instead of assumptions. Because sometimes a small gesture of understanding can change someone's entire day. And that lesson stayed with me. Loving you also changed the way I see time. Before you, time often felt like something to rush through, always moving forward, always chasing the next goal, the next achievement, the next step. But when you care deeply about someone, you begin to slow down. You begin to appreciate the present moment. A single conversation becomes valuable. A shared silence becomes meaningful. You start realizing that life is not only about the destination, it is about the moments you share along the way. And loving you made those moments feel more alive. Even when the future felt uncertain, the present became something I valued deeply. You also taught me that love is not always easy. There are moments when two hearts do not perfectly understand each other. Moments when emotions become tangled and complicated. Moments when silence replaces words. But loving you showed me that difficulty does not mean something is broken. Sometimes it simply means two human beings are learning how to understand each other better. And those lessons require patience. They require the willingness to listen, even when your own heart feels heavy. Because love is not about perfection. It is about effort. And every time I chose to keep caring, even during uncertain moments, I realized how much you had changed me. Before you, I might have walked away from complicated emotions, but loving you taught me that some connections are worth the effort it takes to understand them. You changed the way I see myself too. You helped me recognize that I was capable of deeper compassion than I ever imagined, that my heart was stronger than I once believed, that caring for someone else could bring meaning to my life in ways success or achievements never could. That realization humbled me, because love has a way of revealing parts of ourselves we never noticed before. And through loving you, I discovered that my heart was capable of patience, kindness, and loyalty that went far beyond what I once believed possible. Your presence did not just bring happiness into my life. It brought growth. It brought reflection. It brought a deeper understanding of what it means to truly care about another human being. And even if the world never fully understood the depth of that transformation, I would always know the truth. That loving you made me calmer, kinder, more patient, more aware of the quiet beauty that exists in ordinary life. It taught me that love is not something that simply passes through your life like a temporary emotion. Real love leaves a mark on who you become. It shapes the way you speak, the way you think, the way you treat people, the way you see the world around you. And because of you, the person I am today carries a deeper understanding of compassion, patience, and emotional strength. Because loving you did not just change how I felt, it changed who I became.